Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Friday, July 8th. Hope you're well today. Happy Friday. Going to get started in about 30 seconds with today's live stream. Going to do a public live ticker requests, and I'll do a market update as well. Got an exciting one here for you today, so excited about this live stream. We'll get started here in about 10 seconds. I see we have some people joining us. We're going to get started here in a few seconds. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the live chat, and we'll get started here momentarily. All right, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It is Friday. It's July 8th. Happy Friday. Hope you're having an awesome day. It's Rod with Pow Group, and going to do a quick live stream, quick market update, and then we'll jump into some ticker requests. If anybody does have any ticker requests, make sure to place them inside the chat here in YouTube. Any private Pow Group members, you can place them inside the private Pow Group community, and I'll get to those first. If I have time, I'll get to the public ones if we have some requests there from the public. So again, anybody tuning in on YouTube, just drop the ticker and the exchange as well to save on time in the live chat. And if you could, smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new here, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future updates. Got a really exciting one for you today. Lots to go over, so we'll run through some rapid fire news, and then we'll take a look at the market state. We'll look at the chart of the broader market, the crypto. We'll look at MJ, and then we'll jump into some ticker requests. But it's Friday. Currently got an accepted offer on my condo, so that's exciting. Going to be turning it into a Airbnb. Really looking forward to that. Set to close at the end of the month, and really looking forward to it. I spoke to RBC today. A financial advisor called me and said, he was looking to assist me with some of my savings. He said he was saying, I forget how he said it, but he's like, "You remind me of a young Donald Trump," or something like that. And I said, yeah, the difference is I didn't go bankrupt multiple times. So pretty fun, just joking around here. It's Friday. Have some fun. You got to have some fun. If not, what's the point, right? So something that happened today, I was trying to contact the CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, and I was trying to contact the property management company of the new condo that I'm buying, and I couldn't get a hold of them all day, and I still can't. And I think it's because of Rogers network down. You can see here from Reuters that Rogers network outage across Canada hits banks, businesses, and consumers. Rogers network issues causing problems with cell, banks, and credit and debit payments. So this isn't looking good. Hopefully it's not a hack or some kind of crazy cybersecurity incident, but pretty bad when you can't even get through to the Canada Revenue Agency all day long. Never seen anything like that happen before, but sucks to anybody that's with Rogers. I'm with TELUS, but it definitely puts a damper on your day, right? Something I want to share here as well is Ripple launches an engineering hub in Toronto. This is a fantastic video. I encourage you to go check that out. Subscribe to the Ripple channel as well on YouTube. In terms of Ripple, also XRP, so not the actual private equity Ripple shares, it's the cryptocurrency. Do not get them confused. The SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, doesn't know how to differentiate the two. But XRP is the digital asset, the decentralized cryptocurrency, and Ripple is a private company. You can buy private Ripple shares on Link2, and you can buy XRP, the digital currency, on a decentralized exchange, just like OnXRP. I'll put the link for this in the description as well, but essentially you can buy XRP if you're in the United States. This is another way for you to purchase XRP. You can use it with your debit or your credit card, or you can even link it to your Apple Pay. I haven't used this, full disclosure, but I know quite a few people who are reputable and said that this is legit. So again, I would start with a very small amount if I were you. Again, anybody in the US who's looking to purchase XRP, I've got my XRP bags packed. I'll buy more if we drop down to around the 25-cent area. Taking a look here, Dogecoin and XRP can now be accepted as payment Canadian food tech WeCook. So this is something I'm going to be signing up for sure. WeCook, just kind of like a food delivery service. There's tons of them, but essentially going to be able to pay in XRP and Doge. Really looking forward to that. Going to be trying that out myself, and that's here in Canada. So for my fellow Canadians, also made this post on Twitter, so I sent this tweet out. Crypto has the same amount of users today as the internet did in 1997. We're getting close to the early majority phase, which is the biggest impulse wave. We're going through the chasm phase, which is when companies are essentially going bankrupt and failing, right? And we're seeing that with Luna, we're seeing that with Celsius, we're seeing that with Voyager, and maybe even more that is potentially coming. So if you take a look at where we're at in the technology adoption life cycle, in my opinion, we're just here. We're crossing the phase from innovators into early adopters, and right now we're in the chasm phase. But what comes after that, right? It was like the dot-com days when the internet blew up, right? And you got to think about it. The same amount of users today as 1997 in crypto as the internet, right? And then what came in 2000, right? The dot-com boom. So the biggest boom yet has even yet to come. I'm so excited. I don't know about you guys, but smash the like if you're excited. That financial advisor today at RBC, if he thinks my finances look good today, just wait for a few more years until we get to the early majority and the late majority phase. You'll be you're the unofficial Donald Trump at that point. No, just having some fun. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, right? And I'd never invest any more than I'm willing to lose. It's money that I don't need right now anyways. And I'm really excited. Let me know in the comments below if you're excited. But essentially, going through the chasm, and what happens when they make it through the chasm, right? The ones who make it across the chasm are going to become trillion-dollar corporations, i.e. the Amazons and Apples and the Microsofts of the world. 5 billion internet users today. 2025 should be the peak of the adoption cycle, in my opinion. So I think by 2025, 2026, we'll be in this early majority and late majority phase. And going to the next picture here, look at the internet versus crypto adoption. So this is the crypto user timeline. Look at where we are. We're basically in 1997 to 1998. We're only at about 150 million users. We're less than a billion, way less than a billion users in crypto right now. If this doesn't get you excited, you might as well check your pulse, because I'm not sure you're alive at this point. But 1997 to 1998 is where we are in crypto compared to the internet users and usage. That's insane. That's absolutely mind-boggling. And look where we are today in terms of internet users. Internet users over time, right? And this is today, well, not today, January 2022, but this year we're probably at 5 billion users now. So if we're only sitting at, 150 million in terms of users, just think of the growth that's going to come, right? It's absolutely mind-boggling. Like, to even fathom it is almost a challenge. It's just hard to wrap your head around, right? And people think, Bitcoin would never get to $70,000. If that's the case, Bitcoin could easily go to $1 million per coin, right? Personally, I don't own any Bitcoin anymore. I sold it at the peak around $50,000 and have no interest in buying it again for a long time. Moving on. This is some MJ-related news. So Democrat senators asked Biden to deschedule MJ and issue pardons. So we're seeing more and more pushback from Congress. Also, BioSteel named official hydration partner of the National Hockey League and National Hockey League Players Association. So BioSteel, Canopy purchased a majority stake back in 2019, and it was actually co-founded by Michael Camilleri, which was a super well-known hockey player. So I didn't actually know that Michael Camilleri co-founded it, but I bought 3 of these last night. The BioSteel, went over to the store next door, and they're absolutely amazing. Fantastic. Like, sweetened with stevia, only like 10 calories or something like that. But also in other news, Sundial, notice of annual and special meetings scheduled for July 21st, 2022. And that's pretty much it in terms of news. Taking a look at the crypto space here. So we are in 15-minute uptrends. A lot of names consolidating on the 15-minute time frame. In terms of the daily time frame, Bitcoin broke to a daily higher high. So we're now going on how many days in a row? We're now on 5 days in a row without a higher low, and we are getting above key resistance there at 21,866. The next level is 22,974, and then after that we have a lack of resistance up to about 31.7K. So we're topping out here at EMA 26. Wouldn't be surprised if we came down, form a higher low to just be healthy somewhere around, the 20K, back test 20K, and then we'll come back and look to form a higher low followed by a higher high. But we are topping out at EMA 26, and we're forming a bit of an upper wick here. We still got a little over 4 hours. Wouldn't be surprised though if we came back down, even tested EMA 12 or 20K, and then start to break out from there. But we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on the daily time frame as well. If we zoom out to the weekly, we are starting the weekly bounce, but something we have to be aware of is just a potential weekly bear flag. Anything under 23,175, the 0.382 fib, is a potential weekly bear flag. And then if we take the measured move of this weekly bear flag, you just go from high to the low, you extract extrapolate that out, use the 0.32 as your guide, and you start it there, and then your target move is down to about 12,800. So if this weekly bear flag does confirm, we're targeting about 13K on Bitcoin. How do we negate the bear flag? Well, we need to get over 23,175. Get over 23,175, the odds of a weekly bear flag decrease, and we negate it. But if we don't manage to get above that, then we lose support at 17,567, which is the low of the pullback, 52-week low. If we lose that support, we confirm the weekly bear flag, and we're targeting 13K. Moving on, SPY, daily time frame, very weak. Still unable to get above key resistance there at 393.16. Break 393.16, we confirm a daily uptrend. Could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well if we zoom out to the weekly time frame. We're starting the weekly bounce, but we still haven't started the weekly bounce this week. We're continually, we're in the continuation of the bounce, but it's a weekly inside bar at the moment. Resistance is at 393.16, like I just mentioned. Support at 372.56. If we break 393.16, then we continue the weekly bounce. And if we lose support at 372.56, we start weekly consolidation. We look for a higher low compared to 362.17. Talking really fast today because I try to keep these videos a little shorter. I dare you to turn it on 2x speed. All right, low, high, higher, low, looking for a higher low. We know we need to change the weekly trends before we have any real confidence in this rally. And right now, the fact that we can't even get above our key resistance there at 393.16 on the daily tells me that we're weak, right? If we can't get above daily resistances and change daily trends, then, you know, what's it going to be like on the monthly, or what's it going to be like on the weekly, right? Right now, bears are in full control. We need to change the daily trend. Most important thing is we get above and close above 393.16. If we do that, we confirm a daily uptrend. Then we zoom out to the weekly. We look for the weekly bounce to continue. And then once we top out on the weekly, we still need to confirm a weekly uptrend with a higher low and higher high. So we still have a lot of work to do. Burden of proof right now is on the bulls, and bears are in full control in terms of the crypto and Bitcoin chart. Everything's basically, in terms of SPY, S&P 500. But Bitcoin has been leading the market. We usually see Bitcoin move, then Tesla, then SPY. Why is that? Is because Tesla has Bitcoin in its balance sheet. Tesla made more off its Bitcoin purchase one quarter than it did off selling cars. So Bitcoin goes up, Tesla goes up, and then because Tesla has such a high weighting in the S&P 500 index, then SPY moves up. So that's the correlation we've been seeing. We'll continue to monitor that, and that's what we'll expect until it doesn't happen anymore. Speaking of Tesla, we do have a monthly head and shoulders on watch. So if we do hold key support at around 550, that's the neckline. Watch for a potential monthly bounce to get underway. If we break resistance at 792.63, we start the monthly bounce, and then we'll watch for a potential right shoulder somewhere around the $950 to $1,000 area. And if we confirm this monthly head and shoulders, we're likely targeting around the low 200s on Tesla. And we could potentially set the right shoulder at some point into December, the end of the year. That's what I think is going to happen. We're going to see a blow off top in the markets. We're going to form a right shoulder, and then into the end of the year, we're going to midterms elections are coming up, right? They don't want to cause a recession. They don't want the stock market to be plummeting. They want to see, the market's doing well. So what I think into November, we see into the midterm elections, we see one more final blow off top. We see a rally in stocks, and then into December, maybe we see a Santa Claus rally. Into December, we get that right shoulder. Maybe even happens a little sooner. You could draw it, a little shorter than that. You can make that even shorter. But I think into November and December, when we get the elections, shortly after that is where we're going to start to see everything really start to bleed out. And we're probably going to be targeting low 200s. I don't own any Tesla. I've sold it long ago. No interest in owning something when it's monthly overbought, right? Monthly hidden bearish RSI divergence. We were trending higher lows and higher highs on the price action, and then lower highs and lower lows on the RSI. That's called hidden bearish RSI divergence. Sure enough, what happened? We peaked out and we dropped about 55%. So again, I think we could still drop a lot more from current levels. We could still drop another 70% on Tesla, which would mean that we would be down about 83% from the all-time highs. So again, I think that huge rally into the end of the year, and then maybe we consolidate for another couple months into the summer. Usually we get some summer lulls, drop off in activity, and then we'll see the right shoulder form on Tesla into the elections, where we know that they don't want to look bad, right? So we get the Dems, the Democrats don't want to look bad, right? They have a lot riding on these elections. So then we see one more final rally, one final blow off top into November, December, then we capitulate, and then we enter probably the biggest bear market that we've ever seen in the stock market. I think we could go as low. Let's just take a look at SPY here and look how similar this has been to the .com. So what I did is I zoomed out on SPY. I took this bus fractal here from the .com days, and I took this fractal, and I put it over this fractal. Keep in mind that we're in a monthly downtrend on SPY for the first time since 2008 financial crisis. So it's been over 14 years since we've been in a monthly downtrend. We confirmed the monthly downtrend here on the S&P 500 with a high, low, lower high, and lower low. We zoom out here and we look at the fractal from the bust of the .com days, and look how eerily similar it's been following it. Just look at zooming in here. Look at, we even had the high, the low, we had a lower high, and then a lower low. So it's saying here that we could potentially drop a lot more. It's saying that we could potentially go back up to around, the 410s, 420s, but maybe we just go straight down to around 330, which would be our previous all-time highs before C19 hit, which, past resistance could become new support. Bitcoin's actually doing the exact same thing. If we zoom out to the monthly time frame on Bitcoin, if you take a look at the 2017 high, old resistance now becoming new support, right? So that's something to be aware of as well. And we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here on the monthly time frame on Bitcoin. If we take a look at the SPY chart, still a ways away before we see that monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. So I'm of the thinking that we could potentially bounce here, see a monthly bounce here, and then we've still got 21 days left in this candle, so I don't think that the monthly bounce is going to happen this month. We need to get over 415 to start the monthly bounce. So it's a monthly inside bar. I could see another just tightening range, and then into next month, we see a drop off in activity like we've been seeing, and then maybe next month we start the monthly bounce. But by this logic, it's saying we could enter a bear market until 2024 on this .com bust fractal, and we could go as low as about 200 on the S&P 500, which would mean from these current levels we'd still be down another 40%, right? So this is why I'm being very selective and cautious. Like that guy called me on RBC today trying to push me on buying stocks. I'm like, no, you're crazy. I almost became a financial advisor myself. I should be doing your job, and guarantee I probably have more savings in my account than you do. So I'm not going to take advice from people who aren't wealthy, right? I look to the ones who are wealthy, who have accumulated wealth. If you want something in life, go find somebody who's done it and then ask them, right? Trying to convince me. I had financial advisors telling me to buy back here. Why the hell would I buy something when it's at all-time highs and the S&P 500 is up 120% in a year and a half when the average return is about 8 to 12%? Makes absolutely no freaking sense, but they get paid for every client they get, so they just want money out of you, right? They don't care about whether or not you make money. They just want to make money. So the only thing I'd be interested in is a GIC maybe for the next 1 to 2 years with the amount of capital that I am sitting on. About 50% of my net worth is in capital at the moment. So I may look into some GICs 1 to 2 year term, and then when we see a massive probably the worst stock market crash of our lifetime, if not in the history of the stock market, is coming, in my opinion, into 2023 and 2024. Not to sound all doomsday-ish, but as long as you have a plan for both scenarios, you should be fine. So you're hedging the S&P 500, holding cash, right? Whatever you're doing, commodities, gold, silver, crypto, diversifying. I'm buying a new property at the moment, a new condo, my second condo in less than a year, and diversifying my holdings, right? And I still have about 50% of my net worth in cash. So all things that you can do to prepare. But like I said, Tesla, not looking good at all, and SPY could see a lot more downside from here. In terms of our individual names on the bear list, we've got NEXE, MVMD, and GME. On the bull list, we've got WNRS, COIN, and BLU. Coin having a nice day today. WNRS, wow, winners. In one day, up 52%. Nice. All right, moving on, taking a look at Canadian MJ. So on the bear list, we got VLNS, Labs, and Oxley. Oxley rate at 7 cents again. Still unable to quadruple bottom here at 7 cents at the moment. Great loading opportunity on Oxley for the long term, in my opinion. On the bull list, we got Love, NOVC, and PCLO. And then HMMJ, in terms of the daily time frame, we are a daily inside bar at the moment, tightening range, and we still need to get back into a daily uptrend, weekly uptrend. We're in daily downtrends, weekly. Actually, we negated the daily downtrend, but we need to confirm daily uptrends and then weekly uptrends and monthly uptrends before we have any confidence in this sector. Taking a look at USMJ on the bear list, we got TAUG, SHWZ, and MMEN. On the bull list, we've got CNVCF, BEV, and FLGC. Taking a look at MSOS, the ETF that tracks the American companies, a little bit weaker compared to Canadian MJ today. HMMJ still not losing the low of yesterday, and MSOS losing the low of yesterday. But it is a potential daily bull flag. Anything over the 0.382 fib there at $11 is a potential daily bull flag. If we take the measured move, you go from the high to the low, extrapolate it out using the 0.382 fib. We're targeting about 1265 here on MSOS. But key resistance to get over is 1157. After that, we've got 1172, and then really a lack until EMA 26 there at 1197, about $12. And then, like I said, targeting about 1265 there in the daily bull flag. But we are set up for a potential daily trend change here with a higher low and higher high. So it's looking good. But this does increase the odd that Canadian MJ could see more weakness into Monday, right? If US MJ is consolidating, it's entirely possible, and we're set to close near the low here today on HMMJ. It's entirely possible that we see the same thing on Canadian MJ into Monday. But again, just set up for a potential higher low and higher high for a daily trend change. So not all doom and gloom. Looks like we could potentially change some time frames, trend changes on some time frames. We'll start with the daily, zoom out to the weekly. We'll watch for the weekly bounce to get underway, and then change the weekly trend, right? So still months and months of proving to do by the bulls. And it's going to be multiple months before we confirm weekly and monthly uptrends. But into the fall, I think we have a very good chance at really skyrocketing and seeing a massive, massive rally. If we see safe banking pass into the fall, if we get that passed, MJ's easily, some names going to run easily 200, 300%, in my opinion. Just ripe for a short squeeze. And then if we get some bullish momentum in the broader market as well for, you know, a monthly bounce into September, October, and November, into the final quarter of the year, man, all systems go. All right, so we have some couple requests here from ticker requests. If anybody does have any ticker requests, make sure to place them inside the YouTube chat with the exchange, and I'll get to them after the private POW group members. So normally these live streams are private for private POW group members. I did want to make today's live stream public because it was extremely important. If you didn't see the news at the beginning, if you're just tuning in, you want to go back and watch the beginning of this video because that was absolutely fire, and you need to see that. But taking a look at some of the requests here from private POW group members, we'll take a look at BYND, which is Beyond Meat on the NASDAQ. So very, very strong. So again, if you don't know anything about charts, we were daily oversold back here. And oversold just means, or RSI is just an indicator that when we're above 70, we're overbought, and when we're below 30, we're oversold. We were daily, weekly, and we basically touched down on monthly oversold there with that lower wick. So if you know absolutely nothing about charts, again, if you just buy when we're close to oversold on the monthly, and you sell when we're close to overbought on the monthly as well, or the weekly, whatever you're using, you do probably better than 99.9% of retail investors, right? But monthly bounce is underway. So it was a monthly inside bar. We had resistance at 27.68 and 21.49 was support. So if we broke 27.68, we started the monthly bounce. If we lost 21.49, it was a monthly inside bar bear break, and we started monthly consolidation. Actually, we continued monthly consolidation. So the fact that we broke resistance at 27.68 means we start the monthly bounce, and we have no resistance on the monthly all the way up to about $160. So that means that if you just entered on an inside bar bull break on the monthly, that means you could see potentially 480% of upside. So that is a great risk to reward with a stop loss below $20. That would have been the trade to play on this monthly inside bar. I didn't play it personally, just got too much going on at the moment, but this was one on my radar. I do think they're going to have a lot of competition and things like that with other plant-based companies and things like that. But yeah, anything, we'll take a look at the monthly time frame. Anything under $73 is a monthly bear flag. Pretty insane if you think about it. Wow. But great to see that the monthly bounce is underway. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, so we have the low, high. You can make the case that we had a weekly trend change with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So you can say that we're in a weekly uptrend at the moment. We are above EMA 12, and we're set to close above it here on the weekly time frame as well. So we do have EMA 26 and a level here on the price action, 47.44, and EMA 26 there at 42.64. So watch that as a potential area to top out. If we do close over EMA 12, we could be heading there next week. Generally, this is when we see FOMO really start to pick up, right? This is a name that was just completely crushed and beaten down. You know, we were in the few hundreds. We were up here in the couple hundred, almost $300, and then we dropped all the way down to $20, right? So if we take a look at, and you know, people say MJ and crypto's volatile, down 90% on BYND, Netflix dropped 80% in 6 months. Yeah, it's not just crypto and MJ, folks. So taking a look at the weekly time frame here, we are climbing out of weekly oversold, but we're nowhere near weekly overbought. So I think we could see a little bit more upside. But on the daily time frame, we already had an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. We haven't consolidated now in 6 days on the daily time frame. So I would expect a higher low at some point here next week, probably as early as Monday or Tuesday. Come down, form a higher low somewhere around that $28 area, and then look for a higher high, right? But if we do come down, form a lower high and a lower low and confirm a daily downtrend, then we'll zoom out to the weekly, and then weekly consolidation will be underway, and then we'll look for the higher low here to support 2266 support to hold. If we lose that, that's not looking good. We could be dropping down. It could be a monthly bear flag. But bear flag right now wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense because if you take the measured move from the bear flag, you're looking at you're going to go negative, right? You'd be in the negatives. So you can't really. I wouldn't go by the monthly bear flag. That doesn't make any logical sense. So again, charts are charts, but you kind of have to use logic as well. You kind of have to have some concept of logic, right? And know what you're doing, right? If you're like me and if you've been doing this for 5+ years and you've been charting for 5+ years, investing for over, if you're going on 15 years of investing and trading and really studying charts for like intensely hundreds of thousands of hours for the last 5 years, then yeah, you'll just start to pick it up, right? Second nature. But in terms of the hourly chart, very, very strong hourly uptrend here. See that stair step? That's what you want to see. Low, high, higher, low. Hourly uptrend confirmed. And then from there, it was just bulls off to the races. High, low, higher high, higher low. Almost confirmed an hourly downtrend here, but we held EMA 12 as support. Just riding that, held it again, holding it again here. But we are potentially set up for another hourly downtrend. So anything under 3307 is an hourly lower high. So if we do fail to break above that, and we start the bounce here, which looks like we are, and then we drop to a lower low with a lower high and lower low, that's going to be an hourly downtrend confirmed. Well, then we'll zoom out to the daily. We'll watch for daily consolidation, but we need to lose a low of the previous daily candle to confirm daily consolidation. So let's say the low of the day today holds with 4 minutes left. I'm sure it's going to. 30.76 is the key line in the sand level to be watching on Monday. If we lose that, we start daily consolidation. We're probably heading down to around that $28 area. If you are looking for some entries, I'd probably wait for daily higher low. We aren't overbought here on the daily time frame either, but this is just a name. If you're looking at a long term, buying now, maybe I would encourage maybe just average in, maybe a little bit now, maybe a little bit around 28, another around 20, down here at support around 22, and then at $20, right? Or, maybe you're a little bit more conservative. You want to see if we get back down to around $25 and then add again if we lose $20 or something like that, right? But, we are down about 90% from the all-time highs, so you have to start to wonder how much more real downside are we going to see from here. But if SPY is entering a multi-year bear market, it doesn't mean that we can't pump and see another rally. It's just, are you going to want to hold for 2 years? And it doesn't mean that BYND can't outperform the broader market. It just means there's going to be a lot of headwinds, right? So you need to get I just be very, very cautious if you're looking long term. I know you are POW group member who requested this one. Just be very cautious. Learn what you learned in MJ and crypto over the years, and don't rush in and don't FOMO in. And I'd maybe if you're looking to invest, a couple $1,000s into this one, maybe 500 now, 500 here, 500 here, and then maybe save $500 or $1,000 or something like that in case we really start to bleed out in a prolonged bear market in the broader market. In terms of the weekly time frame, we were above the 10-week moving average. We're seeing a bull cross here on the stochastic and the MACD. We're looking extremely strong. Let me zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. But this is looking really good. Over the 10-week moving average, set to close above it. Stochastic and MACD blasting off. One of the most bullish charts I've seen right now in a long time on the weekly time frame. We don't have anything nearby until 67.36 on the weekly moving averages there, the 50 weekly. And then on the daily time frame, we're back above the 50-day moving average as well. We do have the 100 there at 37.10 and the 200-day moving average at 58.74. So the 200's kind of lining up with the 50 weekly. This is a classic example of when you're beaten down so much, you can see a huge move, right, out of nowhere. And you usually see this FOMO like we have here, right? We're up almost 50% without any daily consolidation in about a week, right? That's called FOMO. But from the low there, that's about a 61% move, right? So congrats to the bulls. Hopefully that helps. But like I said, we could potentially run all the way up to around that If we take a look at the 100 moving average, it's there at 37.10, and then we have some daily resistance here at 41.95. So it's entirely possible that we start daily consolidation next week into Monday, Tuesday, but again, not daily overbought, and now's the time where we start to get extended and where we usually push a lot higher than we ever think we would, right? And then people FOMO in, and then we get daily consolidation, which we knew was coming and inevitable, and then they end up selling the bottom again, just complete opposite of what you should be doing, right? Just because they use emotion 100% of the time. But moving on, taking a look at HBOR. Harborside on the CSE. I think that's .ca here. Yeah. I'm not talking the website. All right, weekly. Let's get this loaded up. Okay, it added it to the end of BYND. Okay, there we go. So HBOR. So it's a monthly inside bar at the moment. Resistance is at 60 cents. Support is at 31 cents. We do have earnings coming up the end of August, so that's something to be aware of. If we lose support at 31 cents, we continue monthly consolidation. If we break resistance at 60 cents, we start the monthly bounce. After 60 cents, we have nothing until 81. After 81, we have no resistance in $2.50. So could easily take off just like BYND did. But if we take a look at the support here after that, your next support, if we do lose the monthly inside bar bearish, then next support is at 28.5 cents. But if we zoom into the weekly time frame here, we are still in weekly and monthly downtrends as well. Back here, we did confirm we had essentially we broke to a lower low, but it was basically by a few pennies. We had a double bottom straight into you could consider that a weekly trend change, but then here it ended up being a huge bear trap, and then we had a lower high and lower low back into a weekly downtrend, and we do have a bit of a descending triangle here as well. It might be a little bit more clear on the daily time frame, but generally descending triangles are at the top of or coming after a huge bull move, not at the bottom of a bear move. But you could make the case that this is a potential descending triangle, because the psychology is still there, right? You just have lower highs and lower lows, which generally means we're going to break down, right? It just shows it's a bearish continuation pattern, right? So if that happens, we could be targeting, let's take a quick move here. Yeah, in the logs, or sorry, I didn't have it on log scale. I like using log scale because a lot of the times it makes more sense in terms of the current levels. But yeah, if we just we'll just use this one here because this is kind of where it started. But again, it's more of you might even be able to say more of a falling wedge. But it says it's targeting about 13.5 cents. Just a rough estimate. But let's go back here. So get rid of that. Yeah, you could be looking at a type of, let's just get rid of all those drawings. I usually use the real candle bodies as well. Yeah, so it's a little bit more of a wedge. And if we do break out to the upside, you just take the measured move. You're looking at about an upside of 87 cents, which kind of lines up with our monthly resistance there. I would say it's more of a falling wedge, actually. It's like I said, descending triangles are usually at the, they come after a huge uptrend, usually not at the end of a downtrend, right? And we've been just absolutely hammered over the last few months, right? From February 2021 highs, we're down over 90%. And then from the all-time highs, down 95%. So how much more are we really going to fall from here? We can always go lower, right? But that's what I'd be watching for. In terms of the daily time frame, Not a whole lot of volume on this one. I would be careful on this one. Volume today, only 9.8K shares traded. So 98 times an average price of, say, 37 cents. Only $3,600 traded, right? $3,600 traded in this name today. Yeah, I wouldn't be putting in any more than a few $100,000 max into this thing. That low liquidity, right? In the terms of the weekly moving average, we got the 10-week there at 43 cents. We're still bearish here on the MACD in the weekly, and the stochastic as well in the weekly. So kind of the opposite of BYND, right? BYND is what you want to see. You want to see bull cross, black coming down, coming below, up through the red, and then same here with the MACD, and then above the 10-week moving average, you want to close above that. So if we take a look at what H4 is doing, it's the exact opposite. We're closing below the 10-week, and we have bear crosses, right? So it's quite weak. We also had a bear cross of the 50 weekly and the 200 moving averages, so it's not looking good. We could be heading down to that 30 cents to 28 cent area, maybe even lower. In terms of the daily moving averages, we had a death cross back here in July 2021. We were setting up for a potential golden cross, but ended up getting completely smacked right back down. But the 50-day moving average there at 42 cents, lining up with the 10-week moving average. So 43 will be very, very strong resistance to get above. But if we can close a weekly and daily candle above, that's going to be extremely notable. Just going to have a sip of water here as well. And checking in on the community, private chat community. We've got few dozen people in the private chat room. So no, not much to update on there. What do you think about MSOS? Let's take a look. So I did go over a little bit. So it's a potential daily bull flag. I may have even already answered your question. But yeah, it's a daily bull flag potential, and now set up for a potential daily higher low. We did close at the low of the day. So it's entirely possible that we see more consolidation into Monday. But as long as we hold $11, that 0.32 fib, it's a potential daily bull flag. If we lose $11, then we negate the daily bull flag, and that we're likely going to see even more pullback, maybe down to around the 1080s, 1050. But right now, if we take the measured move from the 0.382 fib, that's about a target of 1265. So that's what I'd be watching, this daily bull flag at the moment. But again, a little bit weaker compared to Canadian MJ, because HMMJ hasn't even started daily consolidation, right? We didn't lose the low of yesterday at 366. What does it mean when we lose the low of the previous candle? It means we're consolidating. What does it mean when we break the high of the previous candle? It means we're bouncing, right? So in order to consolidate, we would have to lose 367 on Monday to start consolidation on HMMJ. So again, it's a little bit stronger comparatively. But the fact that MSOS closed near the low and is starting daily consolidation, and that HMMJ kind of closed near the low as well, increases the odd that we could see that as well on HMMJ. But MSOS, if I had to guess, it's not looking like it's going to hold the daily bull flag because it closed right at a new low of the day. I'd say we're probably heading back down to the 1080s, 1050 area, but it's not completely game over, right? Because then we just need to form a higher low. So we got quite a bit of room. So from current levels, you're looking in terms of downside, we could drop another 9% and still be looking for a higher low, right? So come down, form a higher low, and then if we hold support, if we hold that support at 1008, and then form a higher low compared to 1008, and then break resistance, the high of the bounce at 1157, that's going to give us a daily uptrend, right? So it's not completely game over. If we lose $11 and negate the daily bull flag, then we just look for a higher low compared to 1008. And then from there, if we break resistance at 1157, then we confirm a daily uptrend. But if we hold $11 and then we break 1157, that confirms a daily bull flag, and we're targeting 1265. And then if we confirm a daily uptrend, then we zoom out to the weekly, and then we need to do the same all over again on the weekly time frame, higher low and higher high. Then what happens there? We zoom out to the next one, right? Monthly, and then the monthly bounce will be underway. Then we need a monthly higher low and higher high. So like I said, it's going to be a few months, likely into the fall at the earliest, before we confirm weekly and monthly uptrends, right? Because we need to bounce on the monthly, which would be into August, and then maybe top out sometime in September, October, and then form a higher low maybe into September, October. Maybe even November, and then we see maybe sometime in November, December, we break to a higher high, right? So it's going to be another few months before we confirm weekly and monthly uptrends. What do we need to see in order to be confident that the bear market is over in MJ and that a new bull market is starting? We need weekly and monthly uptrends. So we're a long ways away from that, but the chances of us rallying into the midterms and getting safe banking passed before then, seeing that the broader market may see a bounce and a nice rally into the end of the year lines up well as for MJ as also. So we could see all systems go and more tailwinds versus headwinds, right? So best case scenario for MJ bulls is we get some sort of reform, whether it be through form of safe banking or full-blown legalization into the fall, and we see the S&P 500 see an end of the year rally as well with the midterms elections. You know, politicians don't like to look bad. They don't want to see recession and stock market plummeting at the same time because it's going to make the Democrats look bad. They could potentially risk losing the Senate, which we know they just finally gained control of at the beginning of the year. And yeah, there's a lot that could happen as a result, right? And we know their abysmal stance on what they've done for MJ. So that's why I think that we could see safe banking into the fall and line up well for a broader market rally. And I think we could easily jump to 300% on some of these names. But yeah, we still got a lot of work to do on MSOS, but can't go wrong, right? What did I just say earlier about if you knew nothing about charts and you just sell when we're here and buy when we're here, you would do better than 99.9% of retail investors. The difference is people can't tune out mainstream media, and when we're up here, the mainstream media is telling you to hold on, we're going to 100. Right? We're never going to fall from here, right? Markets don't ebb and flow. Markets only go up is what they're basically telling you. And then when we get down here, it's everything's going bankrupt, MJ's not worth anything. Jim Cramer said the same thing about crypto the other day. It's down here in the dumps, and he's saying crypto has no real value. But back here, he was saying crypto had real value and it's time to buy, right? Because he's a freaking tool. But yeah, it's the Wall Street puppets, right? They don't want you to succeed. They don't want me to succeed. But somehow people still listen to them. It boggles my mind. But yeah, if you just sold here, turned off all media, did not look at the news, and buy here, and did not listen to any media, and did not look at the news, you do better than 99% of retail investors. I truly believe that. So again, if you just buy here, wait a couple years, if that's how long it takes, and then just sell when we're up here, you do better than, like I said, 99.99% of retail investors, right? So hopefully that helps. I know I went over a lot today, but it's been 42 minutes. I think I covered a lot of ground today. I want to try to keep these live streams as short as possible, and working on my speed. Say that 5 times fast. All right. Not seeing any other ticker requests, so hopefully that's clear as mud. If anybody does need any other clarifications or anything like that, just hit me up after the fact. But going to end it here. Hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead. And hopefully Rogers gets their crap together. And hopefully it wasn't anything like a major hack or cybersecurity incident. That wouldn't be good whatsoever. But I wish you nothing but the best weekend ahead. And we shall see you guys again. Maybe I might get a video out later today or tomorrow. And then I'll definitely be getting videos out on Monday. So if we don't talk to you again before Monday, have a great weekend. And we'll see you in the next video.